All right. Well, hey Savvy people, it's SavvyNik here, and now that I got things fixed, let's go ahead and play some Tux Kart today. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring up Tux Kart. So lately I've been having issues with the Wi-Fi here, at least in Ubuntu. I'm wondering if anyone else has had any issues with that lately. What's been happening is if I go between my Windows to my Ubuntu operating system, I occasionally don't get the drivers loaded for the Wi-Fi, and then I can't use Wi-Fi, and I have to restart a bunch of times before it's actually fixed. I haven't really looked into a fix because it hasn't bothered me enough, but I'm just wondering if other people are having issues with Wi-Fi on Linux and what distribution you're using. Also, if you're new and stopping by to watch a video today, please make sure to go ahead and hit that like button for me. It really does help me out. Also, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I'll try answering them. We're looking for Linux or programming questions. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into the story mode here. There's been a level that I've really been wanting to beat. I think it's... Let's see here. I think it's up here on the left somewhere. Okay, so Savvy Dev, you're having issues too, huh? Emo dude's having all sorts of trouble, just period. Well, that might be since you're trying to install Gentoo, huh? Having fun with that still? Alright, let's go ahead and start this race out. Alright, here we go. I don't see any questions, so I think we're good for now. Oh no, that wasn't good. That was not good. This is a time trial, so I guess we gotta beat the time here. Not exactly sure how much time. Can also help. Yes, that is a great idea, Savvy Dev. I really need to spend some time and make a video on how to make a live USB that you can take anywhere. Well, not live USB, a persistent USB with either a bunch of Linux distributions on it or maybe just one. Maybe we start out with one and then we learn how to put multiple on there. We'll need a pretty powerful USB though. I'm thinking 128 gigs or something. I'm going to have to get one in order to do that. All my USBs are between 4 and 8 gig. Hey Dexter, nice to have you. Oh, it's all good, Dexter. Stream didn't start out so well anyway. Had a mess of microphone patching going on. Didn't realize it. Slack? Or... Gotcha. Are you saying to go ahead and try putting that on USB, or... I know I've done Peppermint before. There we go, a booster. Let's see, 18. I think we beat it. Oh wow, look at that! Barely beat it from last time. 252, 291, and then 252, 671 the last time. So I guess we don't get a medal for that one, or a trophy. All right, let's see if I missed any questions here. So, Emo dude, your OpenRSC or OpenRSC works fine. Okay. Huh. Maybe I gotta try out. Maybe it is the init system that's causing the issue. All right. Again, if you're new and stopping by to watch the stream today, please make sure to go ahead and hit that like button for me. It really does help the channel out, brings in new members. Also, if you're checking out the stream today and you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe below and hit that notification bell for more Linux and programming videos. So what did everyone think about the latest video that I had on Python and how I beat a world record with the help of Python? Is anyone interested in that? And do we need to go over that code? I know already a few people have mentioned going over the code. Yeah, now that you mention it, Emo dude, that makes some sense. I'm gonna have to look into it because again, I haven't really spent any time looking, but I guess it hasn't bothered me enough to look. Man, we're taking these guys out one by one. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm out. Well, yeah, wrong way. I need some help getting out of this mess. Getting overzealous here. Going on these edges. Alright, let's see here. Wow. Got knocked out by that bowling ball. I'm glad you found that. I'm glad you found that dope. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping to do more of that type of stuff here in the future. And yeah, it looks like some of you are interested in going over the code, so I think I can definitely do a video on that. I think that'd be fun too. It's super simple, actually. I was surprised at how fast I could get that going on Python. It's quite amazing what you can do with that. Just wasted a cupcake. Great. Did I get that NOS? Yes, I did. Forget the bowling ball. Don't need it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Only thing that bowling ball is good for is knocking my own self out, honestly. Oh, wait a second. I'm top here. Let this guy go. Oh! Wrong move, bud. Wrong move. Oh, no. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea, just breaking records, right? Man, actually used that bowling ball pretty well there. Alright. A little bit of a speed boost. Let's get some more NOS going. We're in a bad spot right now. They're just waiting to dump us, aren't they? And, of course, I get the anchor going. And cupcake. Knew it. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. Soap bubble. Some NOS. Bowling ball. Forget about it. Oh, that's perfect. Someone got him for me. Now I'm first. This is probably a bad spot to be in. Could have used that NOS. But let's... Oh, no, no. What just happened? Was that not the... Oh, I did win the race. I knocked him out at the very last second here. All right. So, best antivirus software for Mint. You know what? I don't know what the best antivirus software would be. Do they have Avg Antivirus available for Linux? I think they do. I'd check out it. It's free to use, just as good as any. But honestly, as long as you make sure to use your you have so many firewall options that you know, security on Linux is much better than it is on Windows, and that's partially to do with the amount of people on Linux. Unfortunately, you know, you're not going to make malware for people, well, for an operating system that has a lot less people on it. So I kind of suggest go check out Avg Antivirus. I know I've used that in the past. I'm pretty sure it's available for Linux, and it's free if you want the free edition, and that should be more than enough for you. Obrad, nice to have you here. Sandro, I see you on there. Low Spec, hey, nice to see you. SS, hey, how's it going? Glad to see some new and familiar faces today. Okay, so do we want to go over to Super Tux, or do we want to stay on Tux Cart today? I already beat a level, so I'm content with this. I just wanted to beat one level, and that's it. But if we want to stay on here, we'll stay on here. Otherwise, we'll go over to the other one. All right, let me go back and just check if there's any questions I missed. I don't see anything. Okay, so the antivirus we already answered. Right, like the others say, it's not very necessary. Can Wine be used to make a Windows touchpad program work? No. Well, I should. You're asking about a program, not a driver. What do you need the program for? What does it do for you, Sandro? I guess that'd be my first question. Yep. Emo Dude's got it right, so it's not a big issue. Not enough people use it. Let's see. Would I ever go to making video games in Linux? Oh man. If it was going to be anything, I'd program something very simple, you know, like a snake game or something like that in Linux. But I mean, for the most part, you can go ahead and take any, you know, programming tutorial out there that is making a game and port it for Windows as long as you're using the same, or sorry, port it for Linux as long as you're using the same language. So, you know, if you're really interested in programming games, well, go find a tutorial with a graphics library that's also available for Linux, and then you can actually create that game for Linux. TuxCart, okay. Well, you know what? In order to be more immersive with everyone here in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Super Tux. The reason being is then I can look at chat a lot easier. So let me just bring that up real quick, and then we'll check out some more questions here. Glad that everyone can make it. Make sure to go ahead and smash that like button for me if you haven't already. I appreciate everyone coming. I love to see the familiar faces here as well as some of the newcomers. All right, back to story mode. All right. By the way, Nick, doesn't Deepin V20 support HDMI? Because I'm having what issues are you having, Dexter? I mean, yeah, you're going to have HDMI support. It's more of your graphics card that's probably what's wrong. I wouldn't think HDMI has anything to do with it. Make tic-tac-toe. Yeah, tic-tac-toe is a great one. That should be easy. We could do that. Now, do we make it with artificial intelligence, or do we just make a simple two-player? Yes. So SS, the AMD drivers come standard. So if you have AMD, it's actually a little easier to install Linux. So you shouldn't have any problems with AMD. Okay, so Sandro, it's more than likely drivers. It's not the software that you need. I would look up the very specific type of computer that you have and what touchpad that computer has, and then try finding drivers for it. Sashank, nice to have you here. You got a question, and it is, will Linux ever get considerable amount of market share? You know, In personal computers, I'm going with no. And if it does, it's going to have to be quite a movement into the type of user that uses computers nowadays. I mean, for everyday web browsing and stuff like that, playing games, you just have way better support in Windows right now. Of course, the support's going to get there with Linux, but in order to gain part of the market share, the catch-22 here is that people need to be creating and developing software with support for Linux, and they don't want to do that because they don't have, the market share isn't there today. So it's kind of a catch-22 because you need that software to get more users in, but at the same time, you don't want to develop the software because the users aren't there. Where I think it's always going to shine is in commercial products, Android, so on your phone, any kind of proprietary devices that companies create. I mean, why not use an operating system that's open source and on top of it free? So I think that's where a bulk of the Linux operating system will be used and will be continued to use, because nowadays, I mean, it runs, I'm sure billions of devices. On their Mac from a given. So Sandro says that he remembers people playing Super Tux on their Mac. That's funny. Market share Linux completely doesn't need market share. Decent people. I mean, sure, Emo, you're right to a certain extent, but it would be nice to get some more people involved because it is such a great operating system. All right, the same issues like before. Lines go back screen. Tried installing it integrated by removing. Still the same thing. Dexter, you probably just need to set no mode set inside of grub booting your system, and I think that will allow you to go ahead and install NVIDIA drivers. I believe you have an NVIDIA driver or an NVIDIA graphics card. Is that right? Tic-tac-toe with AI. Multiple so we can play. Oh man, that's... I love the idea, SavvyDev, but that would take forever and then some in order to get that going. All right, so how in the world am I going to super jump to that next platform? And of course I'm not. That's about the farthest we've made it so far, though. All right, looking through chat here. My conclusions as to why HDMI is the root of the problems. I tried installing on another computer. Okay. But that could just be the graphics card that you have. I mean, is it a newer graphics card on the one that you currently have? I mean, I assume they're two separate, completely different graphics cards. So, Sandro, yeah, that's a good point too. Joseph, how was that? How was that experience? That sounds like a fun experience there. Batuhan, I'm not sure what you're asking about. Are you asking about what operating system I'm running here? It's Ubuntu 2004, the long-term support version. You can find it on ubuntu.com, or is it ubuntu.org? I think it's ubuntu.com, and you can download the desktop image from their website. If you want this game, all you have to do is apt-get install, or actually just apt install, and specify SuperTux 2, I think. Sandro, thank you for that comment. Let's try to keep them likes if possible. If anyone doesn't like the stream, I don't know why you're here then. That's true. I guess you're right. It's better to have some kind of engagement than no engagement at all. I'll give you that for sure. Oh wow, we're real close to getting out here. Oh, let's see if I can find. Well, see how far I can get here real quick. Oh no. That's fun. Joseph, did you do that for a class or just for fun? You did it for fun, man. That's pretty cool. Either way, it's awesome. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. A little bit of extra gaming support could help on Linux. At least bring in some of the gamers. I mean, shoot, who doesn't want a free operating system with awesome game support? That'd be pretty nice. That's one way I think we could gain some more of the market share. But again, you got to also have other companies and vendors join in on that action in order to really get things going, such as NVIDIA. NVIDIA could help a lot with that. If you're new and stopping by to watch this stream today, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button for me, as well as subscribe. Why not, right? Join in on the Linux fun and programming fun. If you have any Linux or programming questions, please make sure to go ahead and post them in the chat section. I'll be getting to them, seeing if I can or cannot answer them. Oh no. Yeah, low spec here. Low spec's right. I mean, in the last few years, man, we've really seen a jump in gaming support here in Linux. That's one thing I've noticed anyway. Hopefully it gets better and better. That'd be even cooler. We'll see with all this Microsoft coming in and trying to, be friendly with Linux. See what they do, what kind of work and development they can bring to Linux. Hopefully it's all good and it's not just bloatware and trying to track what you're doing. Hopefully we keep the privacy and we keep the bloat down here in Linux. Oh, I see. The Hello World thing. Yes, Komorebi. That's a program called Komorebi. Let me go ahead and post a link in the chat for you. Give me 1 second here. I got a video on that, so might as well give you that video. Yeah, I want to try the new Doom Eternal. Have you played that already, Low Spec? Are you looking for the wallpaper, or are you looking on how to install this wallpaper? Either way, let me just post both. The wallpaper, I think if you go to Pixabay and you just type in Hello World, I think you can find it. I'm not going to be looking for that right now. That's going to take a while. So there's the video if you want to go ahead and check out Komorebi and how to install that. I probably show it in the video actually how to go ahead and get it. Sandro, that's very nicely put there. Rescuing victims, I like that. All right, let's continue here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, check it out, and if you like that video, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button for me. Trying to get more and more members here on our little community. Lately, we've been doing pretty well. I mean, I think we're averaging a little over 500 subscribers, maybe 600 subscribers a month. That's pretty good, considering just a few months ago we were down under, oh shoot, maybe 50 per month. I mean, it was pretty slow there for quite a while, and we've picked up lately. Thanks for everyone who's been supporting. I guess the name should have given it away, right? Low spec Linux laptop. Yeah, I need to go ahead and install it. I think I could run it pretty well. Yeah, it's really hit or miss, isn't it, Joseph? Sometimes it's real good, other times it's just barely usable. All right. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, I'm glad she had a good experience there. Yeah, some people are just reluctant to go over because it's a new environment. So, you know, you don't want to stray away from something that you already know, especially if you're just used to it. And hey, I can't argue with that. I mean, a lot of stuff that I use is probably not the best or most optimized just because I'm, you know, used to it and I don't want to relearn things all the time, you know. Low spec, let me know how that goes for you, how Warframe goes. I was actually looking at that earlier today. All right. If you have any questions on programming or Linux, please go ahead and post them. I'd be happy to try answering them for you. Nice, Blender. Yeah, I always forget Blender's available for Linux. I don't know why. Well, that was just dumb of me. I didn't go anywhere with that. Am I playing with a gamepad? No, I'm not playing with a gamepad. Just using a good old keyboard mouse. What I do like is the fact that open source software has just skyrocketed lately. I mean, in the last, what, maybe give it 10 years, it's just become so much more prevalent in just in general. So that's one thing I've always been excited about, and I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger. And as these private companies, you know, take notice, they're also going to start opening up their developments as open source, I think, too. So I think that's one great thing just coming in general. Wow. So who here in the chat is interested in customizing their desktop environments, and who uses Windows tiling managers, and what do you use? I'm interested. Lately, some of the Discord members have been trying to get me to go to DWM, and I've been messing with it a little bit. I really like the fact that it's C-based and that you can edit anything and everything inside of a basically just couple C files, and then easily build it and transfer it over to wherever you want. pretty cool how they have that going. Sandro, did you check out the latest video where I beat a world record? You let me know how I program. I think I like to think I program a little better than I play Tux, because I am terrible at this game. I know SavvyDev, can we do graphics programming with C++? How about this? I've been thinking about using like what is it called? WX widgets for C and C++. Would that be sufficient enough to use? Is that kind of, I don't want to do gaming, because that's just, building a game takes forever and I just don't have the time right now. But if we want to just use a graphics library and create some kind of a front-end user interface, we can do that using WX widgets for C and C++, and it's available for Python, I believe. So if we learn one, we can learn the other and kind of expand on that. What do you think about that? i3 Windows Manager, nice. Is that with i3 gaps, or is that just i3? Joe, I use a default GNOME, not interested in customization. Don't blame you there. It's just you got to spend a lot of time in that customization. That's what I've learned. Thanks for sharing, low spec. Hey, at least Tux is rich over here. We got 313 coins going now. Yeah, I like WX widgets just because of the license. Qt has this, I don't know, I don't trust it. It's a little weird, their license. They say it's free if you do open source, but at the same time, it's a huge huge corporation. I like how, and you dropped, yeah. Are you surprised though, Sandro? I like how WX widgets is just, I believe it's open source actually. Free and open source. Completely. So are you, Prude V, nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Could you suggest a way to generate 3D sound, so immersive sound, or like surround sound, I assume you're asking about, in C++ to place audio around the listener? That's interesting. I don't necessarily ever deal with audio, so I don't know any libraries. I can't really make any suggestions. There's got to be some good sound libraries out there that lets you mess with surround sound. I would just kind of Google that C++ surround sound, something like that, and see what options you have available. See if anyone's tried it before. Sorry, I can't help with that one. That's just not in my wheelhouse here. Yeah. Is that right, SavvyDev? Default everything, right? I don't know if I believe that one. With WX widget, what are we making? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I guess we could start with the tic-tac-toe game, 2-player tic-tac-toe. That could be something we work on. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, too much because just haven't had the time, but I know I've been wanting to do it for a while now. Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you here. If you're new and stopping by to watch this video stream today, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe below. Hit that notification bell for more Linux and programming videos. Also, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help out the community. Help support the channel by hitting that like button. Oh, so Sandro, that's a great question. I like that question. How much is programming a part of work versus a part of spare time / joy? Honestly, the type of programming that I do is what varies. You know, in my spare time, I like just fumbling around, learning about, well, machine learning, artificial intelligence, that type of stuff, and that's completely out of the realm of what I do at work. So I think the type of programming that I do is completely different between what's for fun and what's for work. But you know, honestly, I just like exploring new technologies in general for joy. So that's what brings me joy in my spare time. Do I like programming all the time? Not really. I mean, I can't. I just the fact that I spend however many hours programming at work, and then I come home and it's not necessarily the first thing I want to do, honestly. But you know, I do like helping people, so that's where the most of my joy comes in. When I do these videos, it's not for myself. It's more of trying to get beginners interested in programming and trying to help them out, you know, trying to get them to understand in a very I don't know, just dumbed down way of learning how to program and how to just get set up. I mean, most of the problems are just getting set up, getting an IDE going, getting, you know, comfortable with the commands in order to go ahead and compile and run and all that fun stuff. Did I start it as a passion or did I have to force myself into, I assume, programming? I want to say it's come from, let me think about this. It's a passion. It's definitely a passion. I mean, I wouldn't be able to spend as much time as I do if it wasn't passion related. After a while, you just get burnt out on stuff if you're not passionate about it. So it's definitely passion related, but I'm just trying to think of how I got into it. I'm not a programmer by through, you know, going through university or anything like that. I had one course in university, maybe 2 courses in university that related programming. But I sort of picked it up because I'm just a person who's very interested in all sorts of technology. Engineering's my background, so it just one day I got interested and started programming, and ever since then I've gotten more and more involved. And then I picked up a few projects at work, and I was excited about them, and slowly started learning programming. So that's kind of what happened. So do I have passion, and did it start with passion? I want to say yes. But, you know, like anything, after a long time passes by, stuff starts to fade. Do I enjoy it as much as I used to? Probably not, just because, you know, you don't have that initial loving it. Programming was a passion for me since 2012. Very nice. Dexter, I'm shooting for maybe 10,000 subscribers before we have any kind of face reveal. Not that I don't want to, it's more of just the logistics behind it all. You gotta spend a lot more time in order to make videos and all that fun stuff. It's just another element I have to deal with if I go down that route. So I want to gain a little bit of traction before I'm able to put even more time into this. So Sandro, I hope I answered your question. I kind of babbled on there for a little bit. Ultimately, yes, I was passionate about it, and I still do it to this day. I've been doing it for about, oh shoot, maybe 8 years now. It's always been a outlet for me as far as being able to do the stuff that I was interested in. So I enjoyed hosting private servers and trying to tinker with those servers. I had to learn a little basic programming, a little basic about all the basics about databases. So as the years went by, I picked up more and more, and then it started becoming more prevalent in work. Now, Dexter, I appreciate that question. Your most epic failures? Joseph, I just saw the make your own ID. Man, that sounds like, you know what? We could do it through Vim. What do you think about that, Joseph? We install some Vim plugins and make our own little nice IDE that we can share on GitHub with everyone. That's not a bad idea. Now, starting from scratch and making an IDE, that sounds miserable. That's like making your own compiler. If you want to do that, go pay a university. Let them teach you. Nice, Joseph. Yeah, that's a great place to start. I want to say I learned C and C++ pretty much on my own. I did take a university class, but not until I started programming embedded devices did I really pick it up. It's one thing to when they teach you in class, but you just don't get that practical experience until you get out and just start doing it by yourself. At least through the university that I went to. Prude V. I just completed your C++ tutorials. Good work and thanks. Could you suggest to where to go to next? Free Code Camp. If you're still around, Free Code Camp's a good resource. I can't remember. I know they have C and C++ available there. That's something to check out. And then come back to the channel because I do plan on releasing more C and C++ videos. They're just coming slowly, that's all. Glad you enjoyed the series. That took quite a while to complete. A lot went into it. Ah, Joseph, yep. I tend to believe people who are really interested in the programming language that they're doing, they kind of just pick it up on their own first. And then whether or not they go to university, it's more of, hey, I want to advance my knowledge and understand the propers instead of, you know, coming into it straight into university. You're probably just looking to go ahead and make money off of it, honestly. All right, well, that's a very good question, Dexter. Let me see here real quick. Yep, Savvy Dev, keep it up, keep learning. You're doing a really good job, I know that. And if you're new and stopping by, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button for me. It really does help me out if you haven't already. I bet most of you have already. And if you're alt-tabbing, just alt-tab back and then hit that like, and then you can go do what you were doing. I'm going to go through Sandro here first. I remember computer knowledge in school, and it was, it said demands experience. Pretty much the whole lesson was how to adjust text. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like these classes are just so bloat, man. They just go over they harp on one little subject the entire time, and it's just it's so annoying because there's so much to explore. It's more of just being able to get yourself out there to most of the experiences that and functions and classes and everything that's available for that programming language, instead of focusing on one little thing like how to adjust the size of text. Well, if you don't have all that information in your toolbox, you know, the functions, the objects, the everything that's available, it's hard to make a program because you don't know what's available out there. So I don't like it when courses focus on one little specific thing. Yes, that's a really good mention by Low Spec. On Arduino is great to start learning, especially if you want to learn C and C++, and you want to use embedded hardware. All right, back to these questions. So what do you think regarding this manner, learning from college or any institutions, or rather self? So I think they both have their places, right? And it depends on how you learn. If you learn in a class setting, then of course going to a university, spending some extra money and learning from there is the best way to do it. But if you are the type of person who likes to sit in their own home and learn about programming, then I'd say, you know, start learning by Googling. First off, figuring out what language you want to learn, and then slowly just focus on that language. I find so many people who spend so much time just learning every language out there. Well, that's not good. Learn one very well first, and then focus on expanding your knowledge base. As far as what I personally think and what I'd personally do, I personally like university classes. Now, that's also a catch-22 because sometimes they're just not good. You don't have a good teacher. So I like to go ahead, sit into a class, and just kind of, what do they call that? Just kind of view the class for the first 2 weeks or whatever. You don't have to pay anything. And then if I decide that the class is, you know, they're going in the correct direction, at least for me, then I decide to go ahead and pay for the class and finish it up for the 16 weeks. Now I know everyone can't do that, and if you have a time stringent schedule, I suggest first YouTubing videos and finding stuff that you're interested in, because you're not going to continue programming unless you're interested in what you're programming. And then if you really want to learn the how to format things properly, how to use the language properly, how to use object-oriented programming, stuff like that, then go into a course online. All right, so let me see if I'm missing any questions here. Swedish university is paid by AAC money, might as well. Is that true? Nick, I think I figured out what was missing. What was missing there, emo dude? Sandro, yeah, that could be very true sometimes. They destroy the passion more than they teach. But, you know, that's a good scheme to have. I mean, destroy that passion and then keep you coming back so they can teach you more, right? Expert, 7 years, Word and Paint. I wonder what that'll get you. Let us know. Joseph, that's pretty cool. Vehicle diagnostic system with Raspberry Pi. So that's like an ODB2. Is that what they call it? ODB2. I forgot what the interface is for most car diagnostic systems nowadays. I know they have a specific format, whatever that's called. Is that what you made? Something that could read that same protocol or format or whatever you want to call it, API. And how did that go for you? That's pretty cool. Yeah, this will be very interesting. Sash Hank made a very good point. With the current situation that we have in the world, you know, it'll be interesting how online learning does and how people adapt to it. Dexter, I'm not sure, what are you installing Deepin on? Sometimes the operating system just gives you the option to go ahead and run through an NVIDIA graphics install, it gives you the option to go ahead and automatically set the no mode set, and you don't have to do anything from grub. Well, at least we've collected a lot of coins up until now. I'm just not doing too well over here. I'm going to go back to... I was doing a lot better at Super Tux cart. So I'm going to go back because I'm bored. Not making it anywhere. If you're new and stopping by to watch the stream, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Also, go ahead and post your questions in the chat. I'll try getting back to them. Let's see. We have one back here that we could do. I'm assuming it's in this mushroom house. And I thought we already did this one, but I guess not. Maybe we just didn't beat him. Well, yeah, if it's your first time going through the install portion, then I would, yeah, say go ahead and set no mode set inside of grub. Savvy Dev, yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking of saving that until until I release a normal video, just because it'd be easier, and I think it'd make more sense for me to be able to explain it better to everyone. It's a lot different when you create a video during a stream versus when you just spend time doing it. And then editing it and all that fun stuff. It makes for a better video in my opinion, but we can take a look at it. Tax Action, nice to have you here. Appreciate you coming in, stopping by and watching, supporting the channel. All right, final lap here. And it got cupcaked. Oh, that guy just got destroyed. Second right now. Hopefully we can catch up here. We're about halfway through the track. A little bit more than that. Just missed the NOS, of course. Let's see if we get something good here. Of course, a bowling ball. I'm not going to do anything with this. Plunger, that's not going to help me either. And they beat us barely. All right. Joseph, that's another great question. What's the most annoying thing that I experience in Linux? Well, it's installing the graphics drivers for NVIDIA, the proprietary drivers. It varies from distribution to distribution. It can be annoying. I have NVIDIA graphics card in my computer. I got the 1660 Super, and it's gotten a lot better over the years, and especially with Linux distributions being able to allow you to go ahead and select that option during the install portion. But, you know, shoot. It's just so annoying. I hate that you have to do that extra stuff. It should be easier. I know some Linux operating systems have been able to make that a lot easier on people, where they kind of some even install both right off the bat, and then you can choose which to use and stuff like that. But unless you know what you're doing, it's easy to mess that up. And I think they can make that easier. What else is annoying in Linux? You know what? Lately, this thing between, at least for me, in Ubuntu, I have Windows and Ubuntu, and I'm dual booting. Every time I go between Ubuntu and Windows, I have trouble with my Wi-Fi in Ubuntu. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's someone mentioned that it might be system MD related. And then let's see here. We have a question from Shah Hank. What is your sub goal this year? Thanks for asking. I'm shooting for about 10,000. I think I can do 10,000 this year by the end of the year. Joseph, yeah. If you like torturing yourself a little bit, you might want NVIDIA graphics card. I'm studying basic HTML and CSS markup in my spare time. And ++ is in full effect. Or nope, ++ is in full effect. Nothing heavy. I just started. LOL. Awesome. Congratulations on that. Great place to start. HTML and CSS. Yeah, master that front end stuff, and then move on to maybe JavaScript and combine those, and you will be a full-fledged web developer. So what I got in front of me, since SavvyDev mentioned this, we can go through this real quick and talk about it. This is from my latest, I think it's my latest video, yeah. And what did I call that? I think I called it breaking a world record in Linux. Hopefully everyone's seen that one, and if you haven't, check it out after the stream. It's great. So it's called Beating the World Record for Fastest Typing Speed on Linux. And I sure did. I mean, I shattered that record. I think I got about 4,500 words per minute, and I think I can even get up to 6,000 words per minute, honestly. But I was streaming, and that takes up a little bit of the resource usage. So what I did here is I made a Python script that reads in the screen. And what it does read in from the screen, it actually reads in characters, or actually it takes a picture, right? And then if it finds characters, it translates those characters so that we have them saved in our program. And then I use control over the keyboard and the mouse in order to type stuff out and click in a certain spot. So what I have here is I have 3 different functions that I created. Very simple here. Of course, I did a bunch of Googling here. That helped me out a lot. So some of this I found on Google. Other stuff I just wrote myself. So really these 2 functions I wrote myself. And then I found this little bit here on Google. And then as far as image grab, I had to use something else because image grab is not actually available for Linux. Instead, it's Pi screenshot, and I just called that image grab. So starting from the top here, I have importing nuppy as nm, and then I have Pi tesseract, cv2, and I also imported the Pi screenshot as well as Pi input. All these modules help in some form or fashion these are all really to grab the image and be able to translate the image into characters. Time is just for sleep in order to go ahead and print out characters at some rate instead of just printing them all out at once. And then I have the Pi input, which allows control over the operating system and gives you the ability to go ahead and control your keyboard or mouse through the operating system. So where it really starts is it starts by calling this image to string, So I called it img to str. And inside here, what I do is I create a caption, right? So I a capture, and I grab a certain, so there's this bbox object, which is equal to a box, right? So it goes from, starts at pixel 312 and goes down to pixel 512. So you can think of it, you know, kind of like this. Maybe I can draw this out. So you kind of start, you know, you're specifying, well, something like this. Let's see if I can draw this out a little bit. Sometimes these arguments can be confusing, and I couldn't find the explanation for bbox anywhere, so I just had to do a little bit of experimentation in order to figure this out, but it's fairly easy once you look at it. So 312 defines this point where to start on your screen. So 312, I don't know, is going to be somewhere right here, and then it goes all the way to 521, so down here. So that's your first X location, that's your second X location, and then these are your two, I call them Y locations. So Y location here and Y location here. So you specify this box based on these 4 parameters. So you wanted an NVIDIA card for deep learning, but I found Google Colab offers more power than what I would have bought. Oh, that's cool. All right, so that's what this does. bbox, we created a box and we grabbed a screenshot from that box using this module called Pi Screenshot. We saved that into capture, so the object became this capture. And using the capture, we are able to go ahead and translate that to characters. And we can do that using this image to string, right? So we're taking an image, and that image is that capture. And we put this in an array here of type numpy. And then we use this argument here, color, so BGR to gray. And we want the language spit out as English, so we have this second argument here. And with all that fed into the CVT color, it actually creates a string. There's a lot of modules going on here, but you can Google this. This is fairly, I just Googled, like, what was it? I think character, no, screenshot to character, or maybe picture to character, or something like that. Characters on screen to a string for Python. And then you get a string out, and then what we do next is we call a mouse select screen. So this selects a portion of the screen, that way we can type inside of it. So the website that I was using, was, I don't know, I just picked some random website, and what it was able to do is it clicks inside of the section in the website where we need to type. That's why I have this mouse select screen, and then it calls this function, which is very simple. It opens up the mouse control object, and in the mouse control object, then we can set a position, and we can use press to press a certain button, and we press the left button, which means a selection. After that function ran, then we go to type to screen, which passes in a string, and that string is the one that we got from our function that was able to return the characters from the screen. And after we go ahead and call type to screen, we gain control of the keyboard. So I did something up here a little different because I needed to import both the mouse and the keyboard as a controller. So since I didn't want the program getting confused which controller it was using, either the mouse or the keyboard, I called it key control and mouse control. So we start the key control, and here I go ahead and take that string, and what happened, or what I noticed happening, was the new line character was getting inserted because there was new lines on the screen. So it was doing what it was supposed to do here when it was grabbing the image, but in order to go ahead and type all that out, I didn't need the new line character. I just wanted all the characters. So next, what I was able to do is, this is just a debug statement. Don't need it here. I print it out to the screen so I can check and see what I get. And then I begin typing that string. And that's it. It starts typing away, and it starts typing away in the section that it's selected in on the screen. And voila, you are typing away like a madman. All right, let's look at chat real quick again. Let's see. Savvy, since you know about OpenCV, can we do a filter and a face swap program? Really? Filter and face swap. We could check that out. It's not a bad idea. But you'll have to make a tutorial on what you're showing when it's done. Okay. That's a good idea too. If you're new and stopping by to watch a video today, we're just going through a little program that I wrote from the last video, just kind of overview. I might go into more in-depth about this here soon on another video. I might not. All depends. I guess we just went through it here. All right. Dexter, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming in, joining in on the stream. Been going on about an hour and 8 minutes already. Wow. Oh, congratulations, Emo dude. Good job getting Gentoo running. That's awesome. I bet that's a great feeling. So what are you going to do now? Control the world? Let us know what's going to happen next now that you got Gentoo. All right, so out of here. What else do I have going on here I could show you? Not much. I mean, do we have any more questions? Do we want to go through anything? Is there anyone still with me here? If not, I'll be probably go close this down here in a moment. I really appreciate everyone stopping by. Yep, Bedrock. Bedrock Linux is next. So, what about Linux from scratch? Are you going to be doing that? Oh, really? Oh, wow. Isn't that the Japanese emo dude? Isn't that like kind of like, what's that on Yu-Gi-Oh when they bring together the the 5 cards and they make this one crazy creature? That's kind of what you're doing there with combining Bedrock, Linux from scratch, Gentoo, and Arch. You're just missing one more thing. All right, back here. So I'm having problems with my audio drives on Parrot OS. Every time I plug in my headphones, I have to take them out and replug them into work. Wow, I am not sure what's going on there. Jordan, you might have to look into the journal log or kernel log, system log, and check what's happening when you first boot up and why it's not recognizing your headphones. It doesn't make much sense that something's missing there. It's going to take more information than just that. I don't know why that would be the case. I never have that problem, but then again, I'm not using Parrot OS, but I am using a Debian-based distribution, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I need to update my Ubuntu VM. It's been over 3 weeks now. Yeah, tax. That'd be a good thing to do. Always good to keep up with the latest, at least security updates. I mean, you don't want to stray too far away from that stuff. What was the item to buy for my laptop again? I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Do you know how to call Python from C++ and vice versa? I'm sure there's a module out there that you can... Well, I mean, when you say call Python from C++ and vice versa, that's called a wrapper. So look up Python wrapper or C++ wrapper. I'm sure if you look up C and C++ and Python wrappers, it'll give you an explanation on how to go ahead and wrap those two between each other. Off the top of my head, I don't know how the syntax goes. I haven't found a use for it, honestly. I'm either going to use C or C++ or just Python in general, because a lot of the stuff that you need wrapped is already wrapped for you if you find the proper modules. So I'm not 100% sure on that, Jordan. Let's see. Thanks, Tax Action. I'm glad you're finding motivation out of this. Super Tux. All right, you want to go back to Super Tux? We can do that. Yeah. Let me see if I can't find something real quick before we do that wrapper. That's a good question. I mean, it's definitely necessary. I mean, if you want something that's time stringent, you want to pass it on to C and C++ and then come back and finish out things with... then you want to come back and finish things with, let's see, Python wrapper. I got sidetracked. Looking at too many things at once. But yeah, wrappers are important to know because some stuff can actually be done by Python. You know, accessing various different operating system things. I'm sure that's how they do it. They use C++ and they use a wrapper. Okay, wrapping C for Python. Let's see, manual wrapping. First, write a Python callable function. Let's see. Maybe we can see this over here. So let's see. Wrapping C in C++ for Python. All right, so let's take a look at a basic wrapper. So they got a character, char star hello. Char star what? To wrap this manually, you will need to do the first, write a Python callable function that takes a string and returns a string. Second, register the function within a module's symbol name. All Python functions live in a module, even if they are actually C functions. Third, write an init function for the module. All extension modules required an init function. Fourth, write a setup.py script. Okay. So yeah. Pyrex. Huh. So it looks like they have some type of a module too that helps you wrap. That's a very interesting question. That last article wasn't that helpful. It didn't really explain much. It just kind of, oh, here's how to do stuff. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into that more, and maybe I can make a video on that, how to wrap C and C++ functions into Python. I like that idea. Thanks for that, Jordan. You're thinking about 5 pieces of Extordia in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you for that, Jordan. Oh, great, Sandro. Thanks. Thanks for that confidence boost, and or you're just playing with me, of course. I know that, but I'll take it as a confidence boost. I'm terrible at this game. Touchpad problem if there's a... Oh, sorry. I'm getting the names confused. Yes, Joseph, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'll have to... I'm going to research it some more, and then I think I can do a video. That's a really good video idea, honestly. How to go ahead and wrap C++ into Python. I know a lot of places you could use that. That's a very neat thing to know. And I wonder if there's even a video out for it. I appreciate the the idea there, Joseph. Joseph, what embedded systems have you messed around with? I'm fairly interested in... Oh, man. In what... like Arduinos or microcontrollers from different companies, the NXP, TI, that type of stuff, or projects from classes, or... That's one thing I'd really like to get into, is just having some fun with hardware and C, C++ with including Python, because I know a lot of people nowadays, especially beginners, like to use Python, so it's a great place to start for people. But I need devices, and the ones that I deal with aren't really mainstream, so I know Arduino would be fine. That is kind of funny now that you mentioned it, Sandro. I didn't realize that, but you're so right. It is ironic. Very ironic. Yeah, Raspberry Pi is another good one. ARM Cortex, yeah, very nice. Cool, so you've had some experience with multiple types of embedded devices. That's really cool. Is that something, Joseph, that you just decided one day to pick up, and you're interested in, or is it you learned in some classes, or... How'd you start in on that? Not many people get started on that without having a passion for it. Hardware can be a pain. It is a pain. Not as easy as just rewriting a line of code. Sometimes you have to completely recreate a prototype just because you messed one little thing up. Oh, I screwed up a trace. Oh, well, back to the drawing board. So who here is amazing at SuperTux? Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't even know that, Shawshank. So ARM is supposed to be... They're not going to use Intel anymore inside of Macs? They're going to go over to ARM? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Do I think they're going to take over? No. There's just too much of the market, at least for the personal computer market, on Intel and AMD in order to switch over. I mean, and Intel definitely even more than AMD. I think it's just too much of it out there in order to get personal computers over there anyway. But most embedded devices, I mean, yeah, they're running ARM processors or the likes. Learn assembly and make... Yeah, I'm not doing assembly. Assembly is something that I just use in class and theory. Forget it. Talk about pain. If you want something fast, I mean, like Joseph mentioned, you can wrap your Python in a C and C++, and then you have everything and anything you would need in order to access the system and use any peripherals on the system through C and C++. That's how you make it fast. That's the whole point. Very good. Electrical engineering. Yep. Same here. Yeah, but that's the problem. They're so big they can do that crappy stuff and still get away with it, right? No one's asking. People are just following. Just how it is. They're calling it Apple Silicon? That's hilarious. Yeah, assembly programming is a pain in the butt. Forget about it. That's why you have C and C++ that gets... and you have an assembler, right? If you really need to optimize something, I'd start there and then... Man, just forget assembly. Start with C and C++, and if, again, you really need to optimize something for some reason, you could figure out what C and C++ is assembled and optimize that little portion that you need instead of... Man, I don't even see a use for it. I don't know a single use for what you would need to optimize at such a low level. You really would need some kind of functionality that just doesn't exist in the operating system, which nowadays that's hard to find. Does Pi script get compiled and converted into binary, or what? No, it runs on a runtime like Java. Oh, here we go. Python runs on a runtime. It doesn't get compiled into a binary executable. It just it's basically like an environment running on your computer. So think of like a virtual machine, and that virtual machine has the ability to interpret Python so that the machine can read it. Sandro, yeah, you're 100% right on that. There's not going to be any penguins left after I'm done. Oh, man. Joseph, have you found a use for assembly? I'm trying to think of something that I've had to use it for, and besides in class learning about computer architecture, I don't think I've ever used assembly outside of it. There should be like some swimming game for Tux. That'd be kind of fun, I think. What's an old school swimming game or something that involves water? Water sports with Tux. Could be fun. It's got to be impossible to get over these spikes. I don't know. Man, maybe I just need a running start or something. They are confused, aren't they? I'm confused. That's the problem. We're all confused here. Come on. Muhammad, nice to have you here. Glad that you can stop on by and say hi. A big fan. Awesome. Thanks. Glad you're supporting the channel then. And you learned a bunch of C and C++. Awesome. Very good. I guess you watched that C++ series that I did. Yeah, I was hoping that would help. I mean, I'm glad to hear from somebody. Yeah, I know. That's what I really need to do. I'm thinking Shawshank is right on the money. We need a neural network that's going to automatically run through Tux, and we'll see how many generations it takes in order for it to, for the AI to learn. That's a great idea. You know what? I'm gonna give that one a shot, honestly. Nikita, sir, I just updated my VirtualBox, and after that, my Linux just did not work. It's just showing a black screen. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. What Linux distribution are you using? And what were you updating? Were you just making? Were you trying to update to like a newer release, or were you just updating the current release? Oh gosh. Oh no. No. Music quit on me because it knows I'm not going to pass. It's not going to even encourage me anymore. It's like, forget it. Kali Linux. Debian based. So do you get the grub screen? Does the grub screen allow you to go ahead and select Kali, and then once you start, the selection, do you get any kind of readout on your screen? Does it go completely black and you can't see anything right away after hitting the selection for Kali and grub? What exactly is happening? Maybe we can help you a little bit further here. So when you say you updated a newer version of Kali, you went from Kali 2019 to 2020. I mean, maybe give me the two exact versions. I don't off the top of my head see exactly why you would have had any trouble. What did you use to upgrade it? Did you use their software updater, the GUI, or did you use the command prompt, or sorry, the command line interface terminal in order to upgrade your system? Yeah, I agree with you. Most of the time you want to go ahead and just use the terminal for upgrades, but I'll be right back. All right, back. Yeah, I've heard of the Darwin Award. That's funny. Yep, yep. He's died in multiple ways. I mean, multiple gruesome ways. Ice spikes, drowning from ice platforms, slip and sliding into things, enemies, spikes, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, you're right about that one, Sandro, 100%. What do I think about the 20 C++ 20 standard from Joseph? I don't really have an opinion on it, honestly. I mean, oh wow, I have no clue how I made it this far. Oh wow, so this is what the other side looks like. Can't say I have an opinion on it. I don't follow it closely enough to know all the little minute changes that they've made. What is this land? The land of the bombs. And this thing, hopefully it can't come up here because I don't want to die. Oh, and of course it can. Of course it can. Oh, no. Oh, no. I was so far. I just needed a checkpoint. If you're new and stopping by to watch this stream today, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button for me. It really does help me out. I truly appreciate it. If you do, it helps the channel out. We're trying to get more members here. All right, so Nikita, after root password sign in, okay, so you do get asked for your user, so it doesn't sound like it's a graphical issue. Version of Kali Linux of GUI in VirtualBox, I faced the black screen problem, and okay, so you did two things here. So you updated VirtualBox and you updated Kali at the same time. I'm wondering if someone can post a link to the Discord channel, maybe we can help you on there a little better as a team effort. I'm not going to know off the top of my head here how to fix this. This is just something very specific to what you're doing. But I'm sure we're willing to help. It might just be loss of support because you have a newer version of VirtualBox. It might be worth it to go back to 6.0 and see if your problem goes away. But it doesn't sound like it's related to Linux because you're getting to the login screen. Usually if you can get that far, things are good. And were you able to install guest editions on there? Oh, you just updated Oracle. So you're having the same issue with 6.1 and 6.2, or sorry, 6.1 and 6.0. Did not time that right. Come on. Honestly, if I just jump off the head of the thing, if I time it right, I think it's better, but let me get you the Discord link real quick. That way you can join on Discord. I'm probably not going to be able to help you here. Actually, it's in the description. If you just check out the description, you'll find the Discord link. Maybe you could share a screenshot or two with us. Well, I figured out how to get the music back. You just have to go ahead and pause it for a second. Please save the penguins. Not on my watch. Great. So, Nikita, do you have certain files on there that you need that are necessary? I would actually suggest just reinstalling it with the newer version of VirtualBox just to see if it works, and then you can at least tell, you know, is it a problem with how you upgraded it, or is it a problem with the actual operating system? Well, that should at least be able to narrow it down for you if you just started another one. That won't hurt. You won't lose anything because you're starting another one, but it does kind of suck. Man, I got too anxious there. So you already tried installing a whole new instance of Kali, and it's not working again. But you can get to the login screen. I wonder if some kind of a... I don't understand how you can get to the login screen and it not work after that. Unless you have a user messed up or you're loading the wrong desktop environment. Glad to see you, DJ. Welcome to the stream. Nikita, if you install the older version of Kali, does it work just fine? All right, Nikita, we have a Discord channel. Maybe someone can help you on there. You can supply some screenshots. It sounds like you have a mix of problems. All right, I'm going to be wrapping it up here very soon. I'm going to go through this maybe 2 more times here, and then yeah, I'll be calling it quits after that. If anyone has any more questions, please post them in the chat. Any engineering, programming, or Linux questions. Also, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button for me if you've made it this far. If you're also new and stopping by today to watch this stream, make sure to go ahead and subscribe below. Hit that notification bell for more streams in the future, as well as Linux and programming videos. Happy to have you here. Welcome to the channel. Watching me fail. Oh, great. Already had the pressure. The pressure of all these penguins who have given their lives for the effort. All right, calling it quits here. Thanks for everyone who joined in on the stream today. I appreciate it. I'm glad to interact with the community and try answering all these questions that you had. We had some fun today. Start learning about embedded systems. I think, Shashank, your best option is to go ahead and get yourself an Arduino, if you can afford one, of course. Get yourself an Arduino. They have plenty of guides on little projects that you can create, and that'll get you some experience on how to, compile for an embedded system, and then use a different type of processor. It'll also help you learn a little bit about, embedded programming, so you'll learn a little bit about C and C++. It's a great... well, that's a good question, can I? Oh, you can. Linux spec, nice one. I didn't realize that. You can go up. But I think that's the best place to start, in my personal opinion, because it's something cheap. Or a Raspberry Pi works as well, but I think Arduino is going to give you a little bit better of an experience. Learn how to use I/O, use some peripherals. There's plenty of examples out there for all of that. It's a great place to start. I can't overstate it enough. Tax Action, thanks for joining in, and Nikita, glad you're following the channel. Yeah, I try helping everyone, so post your questions in the comments section below too. Join us on Discord. We all have fun together. I'm glad we're building this community up, and Sandro, yeah, thanks for that. All right, well, I'm ending it here. Again, thanks for joining in on this Linux stream. Look out for videos on Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern time now. We also have either a stream or a video on Saturday at 9:30 Eastern time. Any bonus videos might be thrown out throughout the week, depending on if I'm feeling it or not. But again, thanks for joining in on today's stream. I'll catch you in the next one.